Hey, Charles. I was
What's
wondering if
up?
you get started, you could tell me a bit about your background, who you are, kind of what you do.
Yeah, my name is Charles Clark. Am someone who loves Jesus. Number one, I am a speaker, a author, a creator. I believe that God has given all of us unique gifts. Every single one of us on this planet, we have something unique to offer up the world. We were made for a purpose, for this specific purpose and time that we live in right now. I'm somebody who's on fire to help people tap into their version of thrive, to become the best version of themselves. I think it's so easy for us to get caught into survival mode, but every single one of us, we're called to live an amazing life, and it's been my assignment to show people how they can do it.
So, I want to walk through your story and kind of how you encountered the Lord, because that's obviously the foundation of what you do now. So, what was that story and how you encountered the Lord?
Yeah, man. I've always been, in the church. I had moments of straying away. I was not a perfect Christian, and nobody nobody is, right? But I think with being in the church at a young age, being a part of the choir, singing, I didn't really encounter a moment with God until probably my senior year in high school, when I was stuck back at home. My friends went on to college without me. I am trying to pass this stupid SAT and ACT. And I was just praying to God. I was like, my God, if you just bring me through this, like, that prayer that we all say, if you just bring me through this, I will worship you forever. Right. Know that I'm called to go to college and be able to make a difference for my family. And the moment that it happened, I felt the intimacy of God. I felt his presence, not just because I passed the test, but because I felt that he hears me, that he hears our cries. And that began a journey of wrestling with him, loving him, trusting him, depending on him, surrendering to him, struggling with him. But the thing that I know for sure is God is after our heart, man. And no matter how much we stumble or fall or fail, he just wants us. He wants us to be like him. He wants us to be a resemblance of him. So you might not see it on the stage that I talk directly about Jesus, but my goal in life is to be a reflection of him.
Man, I love that. So, going to the moment where you have this prayer that's answered, was it one of those things where you're like, man, I'm like locked in, I'm gonna go to college, I'm on fire for Jesus? Or was it one of those things that kind of you get there and sometimes as we do, we forget about it and it kind of goes down there and then later you're like, oh, I remember that and you return to the Lord? Like, which way what did it kind of go for you?
I think I've always been like, if I can put a name to it, how something is there but not there, right? I'm following the Lord, but I'm having college life. I'm going out and partying with my friends, not doing anything reckless. I think for me, it was his presence was always available to me, and it was something that I trusted. I think with where I am now, though, it's like I'm trying to know him much deeper than what he can do for me, right? I want to understand his love. So I'm not just in adoration for his love, but that adoration is like leading to transformation. Like the Bible talks about be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And when you got a transformed mind, you act and you think different. And that's what I'm on fire to doing, not for the sake of like winning something, but because I just can't imagine my life without him. And so wherever he is, that's where I want to be.
Man, I love that. Um, and that all ties into living on purpose and obviously God and purpose I feel like are you can't pull them apart, but what would you say purpose is to the people listening but also like for you?
What is purpose for me? I would say that our purpose is to fulfill something that only you can do, that is assigned by you. But most importantly, our purpose and my purpose is to make disciples at the end of the day. Like
Mm.
God gives us the Great Commission, but he also gives us a great purpose. And for me is to answer those nudges. Like, like some people ignore these little callings that they get because they think it's not for me. Whether it's they look at their past to validate what's possible. They look at other people's story to see if this is true for me, and they look at their circumstances to see the possibilities. But purpose overrides all of that. When you have a purpose, it doesn't matter if you're not, if I struggle with reading and writing from K through 12, it doesn't matter. I can still write a book. Purpose gives you a sense of authority to show up in a space, to do something that can change an atmosphere. Right, that's purpose. Like ants, they have a purpose. They can make hills and they can protect. They can build colonies. Like that's a unique purpose. Bees, they can make honey. I can't do that. And everybody in this world, we have something that's so special to us, that's original to us, that we can do it in such a way that it becomes easy, or it might be challenging, but when you do it enough, it makes room for you. It opens doors for you. It's possible. But sometimes people struggle in the wrong area for so long is because like they're not meant to be there. Like you're just not meant to be doing that. And if you were to answer the true thing that you were supposed to do, man, just imagine what the doors could open for you.
Mm-hmm.
And so purpose gives you access to things that most people would never have access to. It gives you the ability and the authority to make a difference.
So my obvious follow-up to that is, was there a moment in your life that you saw like something where you're like, oh, I feel like I'm being called to do this. This is my purpose. And you kind of took that step of faith. And then later, whether it's like immediately or long after, you kind of saw like, oh, this is like, you saw something that confirmed, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, let's like not overcomplicate it. Sometimes it's just a little nudge of like saying hello, or, can I pray for you? Or it could be, hey, pay for that person's meal. And then you don't know the ripple effect that it was going to cause, but like having that obedience or the willingness to listen to that, it created something that you didn't even know was possible. Like for me, when I got into track and field, I struggled to get into college, but I persevered because I answered the call, and that would lead to me becoming a world-class athlete running for the USA. And I didn't know that answering that call of running track and field would lead me down the road of impacting students' lives and starting a nonprofit that impacted over 40,000 students in like 2 years. And I didn't know that from that, it would lead to me speaking on the stage. Sometimes like the secret to going to the next level of yourself is to answer the little nudge, because it leads to a much bigger picture. And when we focus on the big picture so much, we become overwhelmed, or maybe we procrastinate and we never take the first step. And so like, what is present right now that I need to answer? I'm always asking myself that question, because that baby step is going to lead to something really momentous later on.
Man, I love that framing, like even in a Christian context, of how obedience starts in the little decisions and not in the, faith to move mountains, but in the who's hungry that we can feed next to us.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love that framing. I think that's right out of the words of Christ.
Absolutely.
So I'm curious for people listening, or maybe like even like if you could go back and talk to your younger self, but like if you were to give someone a lesson that you've learned in your story, maybe it's about purpose, maybe it's about following the Lord, what would kind of be one lesson that you would share with other people?
One lesson that I would share: it doesn't have to be perfect to start. It doesn't have to be perfect in the middle, and it doesn't have to be perfect when it's done. And I say that because I'm somebody who, I really want things my way, and sometimes it delays me to even act or pursue certain things because I have this idea in my head. But I always say, like, procrastination is the assassination of your greatest destination. So instead of us worrying about,
that's great.
yeah, I need it to look like this. Just move, bro. Move with and understand that it is enough. And I understand that it is enough because His grace is sufficient, right? Where I lack, He fills up the space. And if I'm just speaking to myself, like Charles, stop trying to be God and let Him be it, because He can do a better job than me anyway. That's what I would say.
Man, great quote there. That's like a modern day proverb. But kind of last question I have, and we'll do this to wrap up. But what is like life verse, a verse that you live by or that really speaks to you?
12:2. Do not conform to the patterns of the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and see what the good and pleasing, perfect will of God is.
It all starts in the mindset.
Yeah, it got to start there, and trust. Like my biggest thing is like, I just got to trust Him, man. But I love that verse because it's in the daily things that we have to do to be transformed. Transformation is not just a one-time thing. It's a daily decision and conditioning of the mind. And it's something that doesn't just happen overnight. It's something where you just look back way down the road and you're like, man, I got a little better. And I'm proud of who I'm becoming. Not because I'm entitled or like I want some type of credibility. I just want God to be proud of me at the end of the day of what I'm doing. If I got to transform, if I got to renew my mind every single day to get there, I know He's watching. And I'm proud of myself because I know He proud of me.
Man, no better way to live than that. That's it right there. Well,
Mhm.
thank you for coming on and for sharing your story despite the technical difficulties. I
Hey, we're gonna
appreciate,
persevere, man. Persevere produces hope.
yeah, man. But I appreciate it, and